Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny along with my coach and mentor, actor Andy McPhee. Let season 4 of RNU commence with Eddie DJ. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Thanks very much. I think the season one of, or episode one of every fourth season of anything is always the best. So, yeah, I'm glad to be on
Eddie,
this one.
how you doing, Eddie?
Hey, man, how are you?
Yeah, great. It's been a while.
Yeah, I think the last time we were talking was when your son was up for an award and we got you on the radio beforehand with the anticipation and afterwards where you were just as proud just to walk down the aisle as if you got married to your son to be at the award ceremony with him.
Yeah, it was great. It was a pretty interesting night, as we all know. The Oscars that night, one that most people won't forget.
I can't remember anything about it at all.
And Doug, how you doing, mate? It's good to be back again in a new year. So, yeah, let's. Well, the little bit we know about Eddie is that he's a DJ. He does work on a local Adelaide radio station. That's how we first met. I'm currently in Melbourne. Doug, you're in Arizona. And Eddie is in Adelaide, South Australia. So this time we outnumber you, Doug. It's us against you.
In your face, America.
Wait, I thought Eddie was on the moon.
Well, Douglas Kenny, hope you've had I know you're up to a lot this year. We're going to do a separate interview with you later because you've got a whole lot of great things going on. But I'll let you lead into let's hear what Eddie's story is.
Yeah, so Eddie, we begin this by asking, where are you originally from?
Ireland, which is a little place just east of Canada. So I lived there for years and years, and then about 10 or 12 years ago, I came across to Australia because of a woman.
Nice. Who is it?
Great.
Yeah, I hope the wife's not listening to this. No, it's the wife. She's so yeah. I met the Australian woman when I was in Adelaide in '97. She came over to live in Ireland. We got married, and then about 12 years ago, we came over to live over here. Yeah, so it's going really well. 25 years married, and yeah, never a crossword.
Oh, that's great, mate. Congratulations. Can I ask you a question there? How did you get? So you work on? Are you still working on the local Adelaide radio station? Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, Mix 102, the breakfast show. Yeah.
Oh, which one is it again?
Mix 102. It's the Aldi Clark breakfast show. I'm a presenter and a creative producer on that.
Yeah, that's a big station.
It is. Yeah.
See the logos and advertising on billboards all around Adelaide. Yeah,
that's right. We're the number one FM station in South Australia.
Oh, that's awesome! Congrats, mate. That's great.
Okay.
So, how'd you started in that, Eddie? Just for interest's sake.
Well, I was working on the ABC, which is the national broadcasting thing here, as a movie reviewer for about 6 or 7 years, and then Mix heard me be, interesting and funny and employable. And about a year and a half ago, they asked me to come across from that, which is the biggest community radio station in Australia, to work in commercial radio. So this is the first time I've ever worked in commercial radio. So yeah, I got it by being fantastic and humble.
Yeah, and humble, right? And probably just a side note, I'm sure most people have met dinky die Aussies and dinky die Irish people. So anything you hear Eddie say, that's who they are.
Yeah, I'm assuming there'll be cliff notes later if I say phrases that, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Translation.
Right. And Eddie, so what is actually your job in the station?
Well, I'm a creative producer, so I just come up with ideas and for ongoing medium to long term and short term plans for the show, where it's going to grow to. And I'm also on the street. So I go out and do vox pops and I talk to people and basically connect the station to Adelaide as a whole. Because that's where, I suppose that's where my talents and my passion lies, is basically connecting with people, which is how I started really, I suppose, in the mental health industry as well.
Mm. Now, what came first? Was it, and we're going to get onto that, the mental health industry came first, or was it the radio station came first?
The mental health came first. So I've been a stand-up comedian for about 30 years. And just a couple of friends of mine took their own life. And I kind of, when that happens to you, a whole lot of things go through your head. What could I have done? Was it, there's the guilt and the blame and all that kind of stuff. So in an effort to, I suppose, come up with answers, I went to Mental Health First Aid, which is a company in Australia, and did a mental health first aid course, which basically goes through depression and anxiety and substance abuse and psychosis, and tells the layman basically what the symptoms are, tries to put you in the shoes of the person going through a mental health issue. And I really connected with that. And then I joined St. John and became a mental health instructor with Mental Health First Aid. And so that's how I got started with that. But previous to that, and on a separate tangent, I was volunteering with a company called MOSH, which is the minimization of suicide harm. That's what the acronym is. And they have op shops, so you have secondhand shops. And in that, they have a little room, which is kind of private and hidden, where people who are having suicidal ideations can just go and sit down and just be with someone. They don't need to talk a lot of the time. So I was called an active listener in there. So I'd sit there for 8 hours a day. And if someone came in, that's fine. If they didn't, they didn't. So basically I would just connect with them. And that was transformational in a lot of ways. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to have to engage with them and talk to them and make sure they're okay. But most of it was just listening, and most of it was just sort of allowing them to be with another human, which is really important as far as mental health is concerned, because one of the things that connect all branches of mental health is this feeling of isolation and that you're the worst in the world and who would want to connect with me. And it's a spiraling downwards. And the ability for someone to just come into a room and sit with someone without having to have a conversation or tell them your problems, that connection, that we are now two as one, is so transformational. So, I think I learned to just shut up more in that room, and I think silence is one of the best things that I have in my quiver when dealing with mental health issues.
Yeah, great. Hey, Doug, go for it, mate. I'm sure you've got quite a few questions.
What are some good memories of working with mental health and your stand-up career?
Well, it's good fodder. It's good content. I think most comedians will say that, well, no, happy stories, they don't make good stand-up routines. They're not, happy stories are not fun stories. Happy stories and stories of, being feeling good and your life going well. Like the most boring stories in the world start with, I had this problem yesterday and I solved it like that. And I actually surpassed my expectation of it. Boring, boring, boring. All the best stories, all the funny stories, all the genuine stories start with, you'll never guess what I did last night. I'm such an idiot. And then you tell a story. And so that's, I suppose that's where stand-up and comedy and how I connect with people overlap. The great thing about when I tell people how much of an idiot I am, they halfway through that story, I can see in their eyes going, wow, you think you're an idiot? Wait till I tell you this story of how much of an idiot I am. So it's the vulnerability I suppose if I was to think of one word, vulnerability is vital as a stand-up comedian, because you want to share something of yourself, and it has to be authentic and real. And realizing that vulnerability is a strength. A lot of people see it as a weakness, and I suppose viewing vulnerability as a strength again is where my strength as a stand-up and a communicator and as a mental health instructor.
So can I ask? Sorry, Doug. Just something come to my mind before I forget, because I'm off. So you're just saying about some of the that's silly. Wait to hear what I did. Yeah, I've got a question. What's one item? You probably got a few, but what's one important item you think you should never put in a washing machine?
The cat.
No, that'd be awesome. No, I definitely agree with that. Have you got a couple more? Doug, what's something you think you should never put in a washing machine?
Animals.
Okay. Yeah, no, great idea. I'll give you one more shot. Eddie, what do you reckon?
A cake.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely don't put a cake. But we'll top that. Don't ever hide your passport in the washing machine and forget it and then wash the clothes.
Oh my God.
Did
that happen to you?
Do you want to see it?
Yeah. You have it there?
Oh yeah, I'll get it in a minute.
Do it. Show us.
I tell you, sorry.
It's dumb. Just done. And guess what? I'm leaving the country in 2 months.
A friend of mine went to the customs, opened his passport, only to find that his 3-year-old had drawn horns on him and a beard and little doodles all over the page. And the customs officers were fine with it. They just said, "Yeah, we get this a lot."
You're killing me, guys.
Yeah, it's great, isn't
it? I mean, and look, people would go, "But why did you put it there?" Well, because where I'm living, I had to leave, and the house is not that secure. And I thought, the only thing I want to protect is my passport and green card. So I thought, look, I'll just chuck it in the washing machine, put a couple of clothes in there. No one's going to go looking in there. Well, I didn't look in there either. It works.
Yeah, it works. Do you know the shorter answer to why you put that in there was?
What?
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, there is nothing else to say. Doug, I'll let you continue on. I'll just go grab my passport and show you what you should never do.
Before you go, though, can I tell you the time that I was stupid?
Yeah.
I've done this. I did this many years ago, but I got in trouble for throwing a snowball at a teacher.
Yeah, that'd do it. That'd do it.